Kidman details overcoming feeling broken amid her split from Keith Urban. Less than 2 weeks after filing for divorce from Keith Urban following 19 years of marriage, the actress details why her favorite aspect of growing older has been learning how to handle whatever life throws at her. Nicole tells Harper's Bazaar in an interview published on October 9th, "The best part is the experiences that you've accumulated. You go, oh, I've been here before. I actually know how to handle this now. Or maybe I haven't been in this place, but I've experienced something similar to this, and I do know that I will get through it." The Practical Magic actress adds, "There's something to knowing that no matter how painful or how difficult or how devastating something is, there is a way through."
Nicole Kidman has long lived beneath life's brightest spotlight, yet even brilliance can leave its share of shadows. Barely 2 weeks after filing for divorce from Keith Urban, ending 19 years of marriage, Nicole spoke candidly about what it really takes to mend after feeling broken. In a moving conversation with Harper's Bazaar, published on October 9th, she reflected on the wisdom that time quietly brings. "The best part," she shared, "is the knowledge you gather through experience. You think, oh, I've stood here before. I actually know how to move through this now. Or maybe I haven't been in this exact place, but I've faced something close enough to know I'll survive it." Then, with a calm grace that felt earned, she added, "There's comfort in realizing that no matter how painful, how hard or how devastating something feels, there is always a way forward." Now, imagine it, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, Hollywood's golden pair, glowing on the red carpet as camera flashes burst like fireworks. To the world, their life shimmered with perfection. But behind those practiced smiles, nearly 2 decades of love were quietly coming undone. He was the country music heartthrob who once sang of forever. She was the Academy Award-winning dreamer who still believed in it. Yet somewhere amid the touring schedules, red carpets, and soft-spoken rumors, their fairy tale began to fray. When Keith casually called their marriage a job, fans sensed the fracture. This wasn't a tabloid scandal. It was the slow, silent falling apart of a love story the world had rooted for. So, let's rewind to where it all first sparked. It was 2005 at the glittering G'day USA Gala, that shimmering night where Hollywood mingles with Australia, where stars toast, pose, and pretend love isn't part of the script. But for Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, something genuine flickered to life. She was the Oscar-winning actress, still tender from a very public heartbreak. He was the magnetic country artist, warm, grounded, with a mischievous glint and that soft drawl. They met, they smiled, they talked. And somehow the air shifted around them. Then came silence. Keith didn't call, not for days, not for weeks, but for 4 long months. Nicole later admitted she assumed he wasn't interested. What she didn't know was that he was afraid, scared of touching something that felt too precious to lose. When he finally dialed her number, everything began to change. By 2006, they were inseparable. Keith showed up at her film sets. Nicole surprised him at concerts. The tabloids couldn't look away. That June, beneath candlelight and soft whispers, they married in Sydney. It wasn't a glitzy Hollywood affair. It was tender, private, achingly romantic. Nicole in lace, Keith in tears, gripping her hand as though forever depended on it. Around the world, fans hailed them as a rare love story made real, the Nashville troubadour and the Australian screen goddess who had found home in each other. And for years, they seemed to live that dream. Every red carpet, fingers intertwined. Every award show, those shy smiles and stolen glances. In interviews, Keith would grin and confess, "I'm completely in love." Nicole would call him my heart. You could feel it. That kind of love that made even skeptics soften. They looked untouchable, as if, just maybe, love had finally won in Hollywood. But what nobody realized at the time was that this seemingly flawless fairy tale would eventually begin to fracture, slowly, painfully, and under the glare of the public eye. Only 4 months after that breathtaking Sydney wedding, the honeymoon magic began to wane. Nicole Kidman, still glowing from the joy of her dream day, started to notice subtle cracks. Keith Urban, the charismatic, passionate musician who had captured her heart, seemed distant, different, and then the truth hit hard. Keith was grappling with substance abuse. This wasn't gossip. It wasn't a rumor circulating the tabloids. It was real. And Nicole was stunned. She had just stepped into her happily ever after, only to realize the man she loved was quietly battling his own demons. Most people might have walked away, but Nicole didn't. She chose to fight for him and for the life they were building together. One evening, surrounded by their closest friends and family, she did something most newlyweds could scarcely imagine just months after their vows. She organized an intervention. No cameras, no press, no PR spin, just raw, unflinching honesty. She begged him to seek help. And remarkably, he listened. Keith entered rehab and embarked on the grueling path of recovery. For 3 long months, they were apart. No public statements, no interviews, just quiet, painful healing, the world speculated. Headlines blared, "Trouble in Paradise," but nobody witnessed the strength it took to hold their love together behind closed doors. Nicole later explained that fame and perfection didn't matter to her. She just wanted him alive and well. Not famous, not flawless, just alive. When Keith finally emerged from rehab, he faced the cameras and admitted something that broke hearts everywhere. It was the hardest, but best thing that ever happened. And in so many ways, it truly was. That moment transformed their marriage, from a glossy red carpet romance to something much deeper. Survival mode had begun. They emerged from that ordeal changed, closer, stronger, yet undeniably different. The glitter of their early romance had been tested by something raw and unforgiving. They had witnessed each other at their most vulnerable, and they had endured it. For a time, it seemed as if that struggle had made them unshakable. The couple who had nearly lost everything now clung to each other more tightly than ever. Or at least that's how it appeared to the world, because even though they had survived that first battle, the fight for their marriage was far from over. After the storm came repair. After heartbreak came hope. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban seemed, at last, to be living the love story they had long worked toward. In 2008, everything shifted with the arrival of their first daughter, Sunday Rose. Nicole called her a miracle, a gift she had yearned for. Keith was fully present, not just as a supportive husband, but as an involved father, willing to cross continents between tours just to hear that tiny heartbeat. Cameras, chaos, and schedules didn't matter. He just wanted to be there. And when Sunday arrived, their world softened. Fame, music, and the constant pressures receded, leaving family at the center. In 2010, their family grew with the arrival of Faith Margaret, born via surrogate. Nicole called it indescribably blessed, while Keith admitted fatherhood had transformed him. They retreated to Nashville, leaving flashing cameras behind, where muddy boots and music replaced red carpet glamour. Bedtime stories replaced premieres, and for a time, their smiles felt genuine again. Outsiders saw a couple who had survived addiction, distance, and doubt, a fairy tale finally realized. But life had other plans. In 2014, Nicole's father, Dr. Anthony Kidman, died suddenly, shattering her world. Keith canceled tours, flew to Sydney, and stood unwaveringly by her side. At the funeral, he picked up his guitar and sang Amazing Grace. No stage, no audience, just raw grief and devotion. His eyes shimmered, his voice faltered, and in that moment, he was simply a man loving his wife through heartbreak. The images of quiet strength spread worldwide. People said, "That's what real love looks like." For years, they remained Hollywood's emblem of enduring love. Red carpets, anniversaries, interviews, all spoke of laughter, devotion, family. But behind the cameras, cracks were quietly forming. By 2024, appearances grew sparse. Nicole's projects took her across Europe. Keith toured alone. Rumors swirled of a separate Nashville residence. When asked, Nicole spoke with quiet honesty. You think you know where your life is going, and then it isn't. No denial, no drama. Just a love story shifting into an unexpected, silent chapter. Keith's interviews were a masterclass in saying everything without saying anything. On The Amanda Keller Show, when asked if destiny had brought him and Nicole together, he hesitated, long enough for the silence to scream louder than words, before murmuring, "No idea." He fidgeted, shifted the topic, and the internet went wild. The man who once declared, "I'm madly in love," had quietly vanished. Later on Ryan Seacrest, asked how they kept their marriage alive, Keith smiled, a smile missing its old warmth, and muttered, "It's a job." 3 small words, but they landed like a confession. Fans rewound the clip endlessly, dissecting every flicker of his expression. The spark, the magic, the effortless chemistry, they were gone. Their final photograph together, taken in early September, showed perfectly poised smiles, but a stiffness betrayed the truth. Since then, they've gone their separate ways, leaving behind a love story that began with fireworks, survived trials, and blossomed into family life. Keith later reflected on his personal life with a detached, almost philosophical smile. Life's in session. No denials, no drama, just an acknowledgement that he was moving forward. Nicole's silence, by contrast, spoke volumes. Her last words about him, "He's my deep, deep love," now read like a quiet farewell she didn't even realize she was giving. Beneath the headlines, beyond the speculation, is the human story. 19 years, 2 daughters, packed schedules, constant travel, and nights apart. Fame glitters, but distance erodes intimacy. They fought for almost 2 decades, and now they are fiercely protecting what remains, their family. Nicole was recently seen at Paris Fashion Week with her girls, serene and composed. No drama, no spectacle, just a quietly emerging new chapter. Sometimes love doesn't explode. It softens, fades, and transforms into gratitude for what was. Keith didn't announce the end. He simply stopped defending it. And that silence? It told the world everything. So what's your take? Was his quietness a gesture of respect? Or a whisper of regret? This is Fame Buzz, where Hollywood fairy tales meet the truths behind the curtain.